I thought you were in prison for life.
I work for the government.
Post office?
You think they'd let me out of prison to deliver mail?
I don't know. It's the first government job I could think of.
I kill people for them, okay?
This task force doesn't officially exist, which leaves us on our own.
We call our targets butterflies. They are a serious threat to the safety of American citizens.
Hey, Jamal.
All right, how you doing? Good morning to you. Well, good morning from out here. It's like this.
Yeah, it's still morning. It's still morning.
Okay. I didn't know if you was in London, New York, or wherever.
I'm actually in Atlanta right now filming. So like I'm on sort of your time almost. You're in LA? Oh,
yes.
Where are you?
Yeah, I'm in LA.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'm 3 hours ahead.
Yeah. So I mean, first, I'm loving this series. At first, I didn't know how to really take it from seeing, like the first movie. I didn't know what I was getting into. But as it opens up, I really fall in love with this series, and I want to know like how has it been working with James Gunn? He's a director that I've just loved all his material. I mean, I think Guardians is, on the Marvel side, is one of the top, 5 or 6 Marvel movies that exist. It's probably it's close to my favorite. So like he's a director that I have a lot of adoration for. So how's it been working with James on this project?
When you watch his material, you form a certain idea of who James might be, and I'm glad to say that it matches. The laughter, joy of life, heart, mischief. Dangerous. He's subversive. And you feel like you're working with a real rock and roller of filmmaking, which he is. And he's also a wonderful human being. And I feel very blessed to consider him a friend. So there is that side of it, but there is also the side of it personally. If you're asking me personally, having worked with him on Peacemaker and now working with him with Guardians, is watching how he wants to push me. He's put his faith in me and kicked open the door for me, but he's not going to let me sit back. So you make choices, and there's a wonderful dance between some choices, he loves them. Some choices, he wants something different. Some choices, he loves them, but wants to push them to the nth degree. So there's a sense of collaboration. It's weird because this genre we love, which is, Marvel and DC and comic books and all that stuff. And people think of it as fun when there's so much just fun, when there's so much detail and creativity that goes into it and so much heart. And that's what I think he does, is he takes these big spectacle numbers and puts so much heart in it. And that's why we love his films. Not just that we enjoyed them, we genuinely love them, and they have a special place for us. So he reflects what you experience in his films as a person.
I wonder, have you yet dealt with the conversation here, at least here on Black Twitter, about the Black Brit actors taking roles that people are like get angry about? I think Cynthia definitely dealt with it with Harriet. I don't think the conversation was as loud when David Oyelowo did Selma, but Selma. Have you been hearing that this thing that it's people, it's a lot of people, there's a lot of defenders, and it's a lot of people that for some reason get very angst about all these roles for this talent from London.
I can't, I get it. Of course, I get it, because in the basic denominators of these American roles, especially when you think of Martin Luther King or Aretha or all these great roles that are Americans being played. So I get the discussion. I don't agree with it in the sense that I think art and acting is very universal. I don't think directors and producers have any sort of agenda to say, oh, I want to cast a Brit or an Australian or whatever for this role. I think that you have to trust their genuine desire to cast who they think is the best actor for their project. That's not saying this is the best actor to play Martin Luther King or the best actor to play this, is for their project. This is who we want to work with. And I think it's a very tricky ground to do that, because I grew up, I saw Denzel Washington play Stephen Biko. I saw Morgan Freeman play Nelson Mandela. where do we draw the line? Do we just say that as an artist, you stick to your country and your native tongue, and that's it? So I genuinely get it, especially for African Americans who have been, for the most part, in the industry underrepresented in the first place, you know. But I think one should trust that there isn't an agenda out there to make it have to be a Brit, and to try to support, to think more about that supportive nature of seeing those stories being told in the first place, and thank God, and judge the person if they've done a good job or not, as opposed to where they're from in the first place and shutting the door to it. But to say that I don't sympathize with the argument would be wrong. I completely get it. But I think that's a general question for the industry as a whole, to make more roles available, so there isn't a sense of that was taken from me. You know, that's the problem. When you think there isn't enough, that's when you think something is taken from you. So we need to make sure there's more available in general. I hope that sort of answers your question. You know?
Yeah, and I think that we've definitely seen an increase in storytelling of different fabrics of stories, and I think I think the streaming platforms have had a lot to do with that, like HBO Max or like Netflix, with when they see Netflix. It, and all these different platforms are giving these different stories and these different roles that even 5-6 years ago was, you know, just
not available. It just went. Well, the big reason, Jamal, that I moved to the States was I needed more. I needed more when I moved back to New York like 9 years ago. I was like, if I'm gonna have a chance at this, I need to be in the States, where it's, because there wasn't even enough coming at that time. There wasn't streaming and stuff and all that. So it was if I wanted more, I had to make that move. And I think the streaming and the availability is wonderful. It's growing. Still a long way to go, but I think it's a joy to turn on the screen and see color, you know, more and more.
A year ago, Alan Coverberg, the billionaire CEO of Wearsoft and pop singer Vandalia, perished in a plane crash. During their autopsies, small insect-like winged creatures, presumably extraterrestrial, were found in their skulls. This is when we first became aware of the butterflies. Since then, we found the creatures in a handful of high-profile politicians, celebrities, and titans of industry. They enter the human body through one of its orifices and burrow through the brain, where they're then in control of the body.
They go through the butt?
I think that's just some creativity on the part of whomever did the animation.
The butt is an orifice, okay?
That means they'd have to crawl through poop. Just because they're aliens doesn't make them gross. Bigotry.
Superman's an alien. He's got a poop fetish.
What?
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, yeah. He uberliebes the old shiz, as I understand it.
Where do you get this nonsense?
Google.
Well, it's not true.
You know more than Google? Well, congratulations.
The butterfly's unique genetic structure and chemistry interact with the host bodies, giving them strength far beyond that of a human being.
What's the chimp for?
Chimpanzees have 4 times the strength of human beings, so they're both strong.
Yeah, and we're supposed to get that just by looking at this diebeard?
I thought that man and the chimp were friends. I was thinking they were about to go on an adventure together.
This viscous amber fluid has been found on the premises of all the dead butterflies. Lab studies show the fluid's genetic structure is dissimilar to anything on this planet. The fluid seems to be the butterfly's only food source, which makes what Leota discovered last night potentially significant. This was on the bulletin board in the Goff home. Leota noticed that this is also where Annie Sturphausen was employed.
You fucking suck at PowerPoint, diebeard!
Yeah, well, you can do it next time. It's not like I enjoy doing this.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, it's amazing the incredible amount of time you put into this presentation and how incredibly shitty it still is.
Okay, Peacemaker, shut up.
Dude, I didn't mean to put your father in prison.
And why'd you put him there, you fat fuck?
Because I couldn't think of anybody else.
What about Ariana Grande or Drake?
What?
Brad Pitt or Payne Stewart or Doug the Pug? Khloe Kardashian, the Red Tiger from Voltron, Fran Tarkenton, Joe Montana, Joe Montana, Eddie Murphy, Michael Jordan, Michael B. Jordan, BTS, Eugene Levy, fuck dude, John Lovitz, shut the fuck up and listen, man. I'm giving you a list of people you could have done. Danny DeVito, Will Ferrell, Howard Stern, Baba Booey, Robin Ophelia, Quivers, Alice Cooper, Ozzy Osbourne, Sharon Osbourne, Bill Cosby, he just got out, he's got time on his hands, Amy Winehouse.
Dude, Amy Winehouse is fucking dead.
Optimus Prime, Shipwreck, Cobra Commander, the fucking cunts from Riverdale.
All right, next time I fucking have to frame somebody, it'll be one of all those fucking thousands of people you just mentioned.
Yeah, tell that to my dad.
Peacemaker, shut the fuck up. Do y'all want to be here till tomorrow?
Do you have cable? So I don't want to stay here overnight if there's no cable. Fargo's on tonight.
It was a rhetorical question.
Oh, okay. Well, then I changed my answer to just ignoring the question. Not another word.
Now you're actor. I mean, you're born in Nigeria, so Nigerian parents, as far as I know, if I'll just do a stereotype of my ex-in-laws are Nigerian. It's like doctor, lawyer, engineer, entrepreneur.
Engineer. There's only three professions: a doctor, lawyer, and an engineer. Those are the only three professions.
and so, how was the support for you when you decided to go into the realm of acting? Like, did you get a lot of?
Yeah, I got offered a scholarship to go to a drama school when I was at Yale doing economics, junior year. And I didn't tell my parents till my senior year because I just didn't want to deal with it. I was like, they'll never go for it. Eventually, I had to tell them that after I finished my economics degree at Yale, I was going to go into acting. And I wrote this letter, and to this day, Jamal, I have the response from my dad, and as it turns out, as it usually is, my mom also, because they're usually the sensible ones. But it was a beautiful letter of honesty saying, of course, this is not what we were expecting. But as parents, Nigerian parents, our goal was actually not to live your life for you, but to give you the best possible education and the best possible chance. You've chosen this, now go live your life. Yeah. And that was beautiful. And without that support, I don't know how I make it through drama school. I don't know how I make it through the first early years where you're earning a couple of $100 a week and trying to pay rent in London. You know, they were so supportive because when they made that decision, when I made the decision, this is what I wanted, they knew they had fulfilled their part of the bargain, which is give them the best opportunity. And I know I'm one of the lucky Nigerian kids in that sense, but that was their reasoning. And if there's something that has driven me a lot, is that faith they had in me, you know, that faith that this is what you're supposed to do. If you believe that, we believe you, and we support that. So I was one of the lucky ones because I have a lot of Nigerian friends that I think they've been acting like 10, 15 years and still haven't told their parents what to do.
That's crazy. Yeah. And one thing I love about the story as we open up into later episodes, and I don't want to reveal any spoilers, but it seems like everybody gets unlikely foes to people are joining fights that you wouldn't think are gonna either be together or have to work together. And I feel like we're in a time in the world where we've been so factioned in these political little silos that something like that needs to bring us all together also, like, you know, something to fight for. So I feel like it's an analogy.
Yeah, and think of the main relationship in that series. For all the fun and games, the main relationship is very much, you know, Adebayo and Peacemaker, the two extremes of America, you know, and watching them be true to who they are and what they represent, but still finding this thing. You can see them just coming together, listening to each other, arguing with each other, disagreeing, but still listening, you know. And that's what we've lost. It isn't that we haven't always had, you know, the right wing and the left wing, or like, you know, different religious ideas. And we've always had that. But the problem of recent is that the listening has stopped. The compromise has stopped. And I think one of the biggest things that can come out of this show, in that brilliant way of social change is always done through I think art is the vanguard of making social change, because there's something beautiful and sugared and human about trying to change society through art. And I think if something comes out of this that James, and I know everyone would be really proud of, is that idea that, you know, we can still talk to each other, and hell, we could still be friends even if we disagree, you know. I hope that comes out of it.
I gotta ask, I'm curious, you know, going back to your roots. I mean, first, are you Yoruba, Igbo, Ibibio?
Oh wow, yeah. You say your ex was from Nigeria. I'm Igbo. I'm actually Igbo. Yeah.
Yeah. But it seems to be like there's my ex-in-laws also went to University of Wisconsin. I'm curious, like, is this like their big Nigerian?
No. Are you kidding? With the weather in Wisconsin, you think Nigerians
Yeah,
would
that's the
willingly
weirdest
be there?
thing.
No, I when I was at Yale undergrad, the head of undergrad drama was appointed the head of the conservatory in Milwaukee and offered me a full ride scholarship. That's why I ended up in Wisconsin, because my ass isn't going up to that cold for any other reason, you know, much as I grew to love Wisconsin. But no, I mean, I just can't imagine a place less fitted, you know, weather-wise for Nigerians than being in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, I've loved you in John Wick and Designated Survivor and,
Oh, thank you.
Underground. Busy year with the Underground and this project and going into Guardians. But can't wait to see more of you on screen. You worked with one of my close friends, Ava, and you know, I really love Ava. We talked about James Gunn, but I
adore Ava. Yeah. So I mean, what a trailblazer. I'm very lucky that in the last couple of years I've worked with people you can genuinely call trailblazers. Ava was very much the beginning of that with When They See Us, and then Barry Jenkins and now James in their own way, you know, making change. So in that sense, I feel very blessed. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm very blessed to see
and
you.
Send her my love.
I will do so. Can't wait to see more of you, and keep on doing your thing, man. I love your character.
Thank you so much.
Good luck to you.
And thank you for your questions. I really enjoyed your questions. You know, take care of yourself. I hope you get to have some egusi soup and some jollof rice and stuff soon. You know, I mean, just because it's the ex doesn't mean you stop. It doesn't mean you stop eating Nigerian food, my friend.
No, it's in my body now. I was a 10-year marriage. I know everything. The sweet mother. I know. I'm so engrossed in the culture, and I respect the culture and everything. So, you know, to all the Niger fans out there, I know they love you like all the other actors out here, and everybody's gonna love you in all these roles. And this is a great show. So keep doing your thing. We'll keep on watching, brother.
Thank you. It means a lot to me, Jamal. And you stay safe. Best to you and yours. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.